It's summertime and the weather is, well, raining. But summer holidays are rapidly approaching. You know this because the BBC has just reported that package holiday prices are up around 25% from last year. With those sorts of prices and the likely massive queues you'll get at airports, many people will be looking for a cheaper option. Perhaps a road trip to Europe. Well, Dave Takes It On looks at EV road trip holidays in Europe and the charges and prices you are likely to experience. Now, I spent most of my adult life living down in Cornwall, working down there. And there, the nearest airport offering cheap flights back in the 80s and 90s was over 100 miles away. So holidays were different. We had brilliant beaches and scenery and attractions, so home holidays were easy. But our route abroad was nearby. Brittany Ferries operated out of Plymouth, a mere 70-mile drive. And they offered the overnight sailings with the car to either France or Spain. So these were our main holidays. Drive to Plymouth, ferry overnight with a cabin, and start our holiday fresh in the morning. In fact, I spent so much time in France in the 80s, I ended up living and working over there for a few years. So first, let's look at the practicalities. Your initial destination, if you're driving, is likely to be France. And the method will be either a ferry or the Eurotunnel. And here's your first surprise. 50 kilowatt chargers are free at Eurotunnel Folkestone. And many ferries now have onboard car chargers. Some of them are free. Top up free before or as you cross the channel, and you have 200-300 miles of driving range. That's enough to get you to the Netherlands, Germany, and most of the northern regions of France, probably almost as far as Brittany. Free. Please check what is available before you set off, as these things do change. Now, can you get free charging at your destination? Well, a quick search on booking.com reveals, many hotels now have destination charging, and a lot of them are free. And of course, campsites normally have electric hookups nowadays, so you can use your mains charger that came with your car. Just remember to get your European adapter available from your manufacturer. A bit of research before you go could give you free charging for the whole of your holiday. Well, if free or destination charging is not an option, you will need to use public chargers. For charging abroad, you have three main options. First, if you're a non-Tesla owner, check the UK network you already use to see if they operate in France. Fastned and Ionity definitely do. So if you use, say, Fastned and you're already a member, you will also get cheap rates in France. And currently they'll be running at about 45 cents or somewhere around 28p, nice and cheap. If your chosen network does not operate in France, such as companies like Instavolt and GridServe, try Tesla. And obviously all Tesla owners should use Tesla superchargers anyway, if they can. The supercharger network is just as good in France as it is in the UK. It will appear on your display sat-nav and you use it in exactly the same way. Remember, all European chargers are CCS2, so only older models S and X, like mine, pre-2018, will need an adapter. All Model 3 and Model Y owners will never need one. Now, Tesla has a very good number of chargers in France, and prices are generally much cheaper than in the UK. Prices do vary from charger to charger, but a quick look at northern France show off-peak rates in the low 30 cents. That's around 25 pence per mile to Tesla owners. Now, many Tesla's superchargers in France are open to non-Tesla EVs. These will all be 250 kilowatt CCS2 chargers, so really fast, incredibly reliable. Anyone with an EV with CCS2 can download the Tesla app free, and you do not need to become a member. Rarely will you arrive to find a charger out of order, but if you do, you'll normally never find less than 8 chargers, so simply choose another. Checking prices for non-Tesla owners, supercharger rates are a bit cheaper than in the UK, around about 45 cents or 39 pence per kilowatt hour. But you do have the option to become a member. It will cost you $10.99 per month, and it can be cancelled at any time, but offers big discounts at all Tesla superchargers, not just in France. Non-member rates are typically around about 45 cents. If it makes sense, become a member and get the cheaper rates, and that will be what the Tesla drivers get, which is in the low 30 cents. Go on holiday, then you can cancel once you get back home. It costs you £10.99, but don't forget, one single charge, 20 to 80% on a Model 3 or Y long range, could save you about £6 or £7. Well worth it. Obviously, if you do become a member for only a month, you get the cheap rates for the whole of that month. So before you set off and once back home, make the most of that cheap rate, then just cancel. Your last options are to use either what your car came with, and hope it works in France, or use smartphone apps like Apple, Google, Map apps, PlugShare, ChargePoint, etc. Check before you leave the UK. If your sat-nav and charger locations will work happily in France, and you find it good and easy to use, that's your obvious choice, use it. If not, you will need to use the apps or app maps that I personally hate and take your chance. You'll probably also need to download various payment apps to be able to use the unknown chargers. Most of them do not have contactless. It's usually an app or RFID. And remember, if you don't get cheap rates, just accept it as part of your holiday. An extra £20 or £30 charging is not going to ruin it. Well, I think that's about the scope of this video. It's not intended as a travel guide nor a route planner. It might just open up some ideas to make a road trip in France and beyond more enjoyable and cheaper. And don't forget, for all you Model Y and 3 owners and all other owners with cars after 2018, you do not need any adapter for driving anywhere in Europe. Well, thanks for staying with me to the end. If you like this video, please subscribe and click the like button. Also consider supporting the channel financially by becoming a Patreon member. Prices start from £3 and offer a variety of benefits. Find out more at patreon.com. Dave takes it on. I'm Dave.